The CELPIP Speaking test contains of 8 questions. The first one says, talk about one of your best friends. But wait, it's not really a question, it's just a practice question. Use this to warm up your tongue before the entire test starts. But here is your actual first question. Your sibling is getting addicted to caffeine. Advise him/her ways to get rid of it. Here you have the preparation time of 30 seconds and speaking time of 90 seconds. You want to be informal or formal based on the scenario provided. In this case, it's informal. So you want to talk to your family member, your sibling. Hey sis, how's it going? Look, I wanted to talk about this, and start with that greeting with how's it going, how are you, and then you talk about I wanted to talk about this, or let's address this. And that's how you get to your point. Now you use firstly, secondly, thirdly, give 3 reasons or 3 suggestions to your sister who is addicted to caffeine, or your brother, and at the end, wrap it up with a nice greeting. I hope you understand my suggestions, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon, sis. Again, informal tone, finish up, let's go to the next one. Talk about your biggest regret, and all of this is useless. It just asks you can talk about this, you can talk about that. Guys, you only have 30 seconds of preparation. Don't waste your time on reading everything. Let's focus on the first sentence, which is always what you need to do. Now, figure out what you regret. Think of 2 to 3 points only, not more. You want to focus on quality points and good descriptions instead of too many points. You only have 60 seconds for this. So 2 to 3 points about that event, and the 3rd or 4th point could be how you felt. How did it make you feel? Did it make you embarrassed? Did it make you guilty? And so on. At the end, you can use words like overall or therefore and wrap it up. Overall, that event was my biggest regret and it was very unfortunate. That's it. Go to your next question. Question number 3. Speaking time 60 seconds. Preparation time 30 seconds. Here you describe a picture, and all you gotta do is explain what's happening in the picture. You are not talking to anyone here. You start with, in this picture I can see. Think of 2 to 3 main things you can see in the picture, because the time will run out fast. You want to make sure the 2 to 3 things are exact, they can be described in detail, and if you have the luxury of extra time, you can talk about the background events happening. Use words like in the background, which is things here, and foreground, which are things here, towards the right, towards the left, and so on. Next question is going to be the same picture again, and now you have to predict what happens next. Again, you would use the same approach. You would start by saying something like, in this picture, what I think will happen next is, then pick 2 to 3 main things that you can describe. For each of these main things, give it about 10 to 15 seconds to explain, because you want to explain one point in detail instead of saying 10 things without detail. Quality over quantity. Then talk about everything in the future tense. Make sure to use words like it will probably happen, most likely happen, and so on. Don't use words like it will happen, because we are, remember, predicting what we think, not what we know will happen. At the end, you wrap it up by saying something like, overall, these are my opinions, and I believe these will happen next. That's it. Let's go to your next question. You can pause the video, guys, and read these questions. I want to make it as concise as possible. So in this case, in part 5, you're asked to compare 2 options. You have been given the scenario where you're deciding one main diet that you can stick with. The choice becomes either protein or vegan options, and you have to pick one of these 2, vegan or protein. You pick one. Let's assume you picked the vegan option. Now your friend would rather have you eat fast food instead. These are the points that the friend is going to have, and these are the points that you have. Now the friend is not going to talk to you. We're just assuming that we are talking to him or her and they're listening. So in the next 60 seconds after the preparation time, you will speak and talk to your friend. Hey, Bob, Sarah, whoever, make up a name and then say, look, I understand your opinion was on fast food and I know it's delicious and fun to eat. However, my option with vegan diet would have very low fat content, which is extremely helpful, not only for health, but also for skin rejuvenation, and so on. So you can see you are combining multiple points. Here, I talked about his point or her point, mixed with my benefits, and that's how you want to lead this question, because there's going to be very little time and you have to say a lot of things in this little time. So you make sure you go back and forth talking about your options and comparing it with their options, not just sticking to yours, because this is called the comparison question. Make sure to use words like however, nonetheless, nevertheless when you are arguing and giving your opinions why your thing is better than their opinion. Now, part 6 asks you to show your emotional intelligence. For example, you're a call center agent dealing with an old lady on the phone who does not want to pay the increased rates of her cell phone service. However, your boss had stated previously that there will be no exceptions for anyone on the fees. So either you convince your boss to make an exception, or you explain to the old lady that there's no way you can give her a better deal. In each case, you would be having a convincing tone. You would have to use words like, I'm extremely sorry, I'm highly apologetic, but, and also show the acknowledgement. I understand that you want or you wish for, and explain their side, then come with your own points. Once again, 60 seconds speaking time and 60 seconds preparation time. So you want to make sure you pick an option initially that is easy for you to talk about. And for example, if you have grandmothers in your life, you probably are used to talking to them. Use something that is more familiar to you. Or if you have a boss, you can use this option, but mostly we don't negotiate with bosses that much. And that's why I would pick this option. So whoever or whatever suits you, pick that. It's easier to define. Pick 2 to 3 reasons why you cannot offer this old lady a discount. You can talk about company policy as one reason. The other thing is you can say that I went up to my boss and they said absolutely no exceptions. And then again, apology. And at the end, you can either conclude with a recommendation. I would recommend you call corporate and see if they could do something for you. Or you just end at an apology. I'm afraid after trying all resources, we just cannot process a lower cost for you. I truly apologize. If there's anything else, please let me know. Okay, that's the ending. Let's go to the next one. Vacation pay should be eliminated as it is a burden on the employer as well as businesses. What is your opinion? This is like a debate question, and that's exactly what it is. Once again, this is the only other question other than part 1, which is 90 seconds. So here again, you have to use the same approach like part 1. You have to give your opinion at the start, have 3 points ready, firstly, secondly, thirdly. Make sure to give each point 20 seconds because it is 90 seconds. The rest of the time will be intro and the conclusion, and explain your points really well. Don't do more than 3 because that's going to be more quantity over quality. Give 3 reasons, and at the end, wrap it up with your opinion once again that you mentioned in the intro. Finally, going to the last one, you're given a picture as well as a scenario. You are in a gallery while on travel when you notice this strange wall art. Call your local art gallery and describe this picture so they can add something to their collection. Give a thorough description of the picture. This is the same thing like part 3, picture. You're just describing a picture. The only twist is you have to now talk to someone. So all you got to do in these kinds of questions is tweak your intro and conclusion a little bit. So here you would talk to the art gallery. Hi there, my name is Sean, and I wanted to talk about this. And now you talk about the picture. Again, 2 to 3 good quality points that you can describe. Make sure to use a lot of adjectives, like the guy looks creepy, and the whole picture, the web and the spiders, make it look very chaotic and almost scary. Use adjectives to describe more, and it also helps you with your range of vocabulary. Finally, at the end, you go back to the instructions in the question. Call your local art gallery and describe this picture so they can add something similar to their collection. Now you can finish up by saying, I would highly recommend having something like this in your art gallery. It'll simply draw in more viewers because of its cryptic nature. That's it. And you finish up. The only addition you have is the intro and conclusion compared to part 3, because here you're talking to a person. So guys, make sure to follow these tips and tricks in all parts, and in this concise video, we cover a ton of detail. Make sure to review it before your exam again. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. Highly appreciate it.